So I'm going to show you how you can do the outline and kind of pull the color in if you want to have a gradation of tone in the white area, not a complete bright white. And that's also called ombre. And then for the middle, if you didn't use graphite and you used black, look at how vibrant that becomes when you add water to it. And again, you want to be careful that you're not putting too much water on or it'll puddle and look uneven. If your brush starts to get dry and you want to dip it back in the water, you can do that, but dab it on the paper towel. So when I do the iris, I want to work from the lightest part first and then into the dark blue. You know, the color prior that you've worked on, like the black, it dries pretty quickly, but if it was still wet, it might bleed into the blue. So you want to make sure that it's not still really wet before you go into there. So let's pull some of this dark blue down in. And eventually I'm going to paint in here, but I don't want to do it while my brush is loaded with the dark blue because I want to keep that area lighter. So I'm going to stop with this segment right here so that you can see how I'm going to do in between. Just do the ones up near the top of the eye. Okay, and so now I'm going to rinse my brush because I've got all this dark pigment on my brush. I'm going to rinse it, dry it, and then I'm going to do the color in between. And I don't want to go all the way up into that darker blue because I don't want to get that darker blue on my brush right now. And if you accidentally touch the darker blue, you want to rinse your brush and dry it and pick it up real quick, almost like a sponge, before it becomes permanent. Oh, that's too much water. Dry your brush and your brush will soak it up if your brush is dried off. Okay, so now I'm going to do the top part up here. See how that's darker there. Kind of give it some streaks. I'm going to switch brushes to a flat brush now. Just pull the color towards the center. And then I want to get that dark outside edge of the eye. So I'm going to, if I can get the camera where you can see it. And pull down, but not all the way across. Just staying up near the outer edge of the circle. And my brush is just damp. It's not very wet at all. I'm going to clean it, dry it off again, so that I can get that lighter blue without pulling the dark blue into it. And whenever you get like a little droplet like that, it could suddenly drop onto your picture. So just put it on the paper towel and get rid of that. Kind of like a teardrop. Okay, so I'm not going to do the whole iris right now, but I want to show you with the gray on the skin. I'm going to do that now. I have black lines in between, so I got to be careful that I don't smear them. So I'm kind of going in between them, stopping at each eyelash and picking up my brush. Now, if you wanted, you could do the skin tone first, and then when it's dry, put the eyelashes in with the pencil. But this is another way of doing it. And then I'm gonna blend the skin tone up here, trying to go between the eyelashes again. I'm getting an overall gray tone, and you could leave it like that, or you can switch to your round brush and pull out those very nice black eyelashes by wetting them. So when you have watercolor pencils and you wet them, it just intensifies the hue or the color, makes it much more vibrant. So you can see the difference between this area that's been painted and this area that has not. So I think you get the idea. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to rinse your brush in between and use your paper towel.